Hi, my name is Joey, and I am a skeptic. Proof is critical and essential, something that everybody can understand and is repeatable. I'm a skeptic. I really am. But in less than 5 minutes, I'd like to convince you why you already believe that Jesus Christ was an alien. Yeah. Actually, three relevant details that by the equation operation I should tell you first briefly is that humans possess the rare ability to, quote me, create thought that manifest into reality that we all share. Everything everywhere is either man-made or made by God, basically natural, right? Anything that's not made by God, that's made by man, started as a thought, and how we manifest those, and I could go into such detail. But so whether you know it or not, or it has occurred to you or not, especially if you're Christian, it should investigate the facts on the history of the Bible. Anyway, Holy Roman Empire. But all people are offered two options, whether you know it or not, and that is creation versus evolution. Evolution literally means that we were made from primordial mystery soup. We don't know exactly what things mixed together. It was so by the law of large numbers or whatever, the universe is incomprehensibly large, but this statistical anomaly occurred, and these chemicals mixed together and life was born. And it's so rare that we're the only life in the entire universe. Also, another fact is that, and we don't know what the primordial soup was, just this primordial mystery soup, and we're the only life in the entire universe, even though there's hundreds of billions, literally, different species of life on this planet alone. Whether you know it or not, and it's occurred to you, you're offered two explanations: creation versus evolution. Everywhere I look around me, everything evolves. Human, look, we continue to break records and get faster. Look at the 4-minute mile, for instance. It's not just technology, but we evolve, and I can see that in everything: entropy, physics, everything. But also time and relativity and time dilation, speed of light, paradoxes. Your creation versus evolution. If we are created, it's a one-time miracle kind of thing where this God created man, and we've never ever had any kind of evidence ever anything I can see or touch or prove or that anybody can to suggest that there's a God or we were created, man. So we evolved from monkeys. This is Darwinism. Well, really, if you've got to investigate this, you've got to want to know. But if you diligent, misinformation is a self-inflicted weapon. So creation versus evolution. Also, retrocausality was one point. That has to do with physics and time. Definition: our ability to affect our present moment by changing our future. And the third point, real quick, is after this, I'd like to tell you a story of how insane that will illustrate how insane I thought it was when somebody told me Jesus Christ was an alien. This person also told me. So I'll get to that. How crazy it was, and how one of the facets that you can, or aspects that you can use retrocausality to benefit your life in everyday practical way. We were created. Hominids, genetics, DNA, 200,000 years, our DNA, our species has existed as hominids, hunter-gatherers, until all of us, for 200,000 years, and then all of a sudden, 10,000 years ago, all over the planet at the exact same time, out of nowhere, we had astronomy, astrology, agriculture, civilization, written complex languages, written word, mathematics, agriculture, like very advanced. Like, we knew the names of the moons long before. We didn't have telescopes till 1600. I live in Cape Canaveral, man. Technology. I'm a computer science major. This is some shit you need to really pay attention to in AI. And we send rockets into space face like a big firecracker. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, so this is why you believe that Jesus Christ was an alien. Because if you believe in Jesus Christ, or that we were created by something, there's an ethereal something. We were created by Jesus. Jesus was not human, okay? And a lot of people get caught up with that. It's incomprehensible, but they think God thinks like a person or something. The Lord works in mysterious ways. So man was created, and whatever created us was not human. So which is the exact same way to say that Jesus Christ was an alien. It's just what I think of as an alien is like the little grays with the short, big, round head, pointy chin, almond, big black eyes. Grays. That's an alien. No, I don't think Jesus Christ was that, man. And but I wanted to know, because I do believe there's something. So I started looking factually and objectively. Again, I'm a genuine skeptic. So at the history of the Bible, man, that is supposed to be the literal word of God. So science and God must coexist simply because they do. But they do, and it's like I said, man, proof that everybody can see is critical, essential, mandatory, fundamental, and irrefutable. Also, so I've spent my lifetime diligent research trying to figure all that out. It could one of the things, theology academically I've studied, but phenomenology is a good place to start. I just shared a video by Mitch Horowitz, and man, that's the kind of people that I'll use for like resource. Check them, look it up, man. Any part of it that's interesting or applies or anything. But I'm telling you that, like, okay, so here's the story. It's been 7 minutes so far. So here's the story about how insane I thought it was when somebody said Jesus Christ is an alien. Yeah, that's lunatic. Here's an illustration. In retrocausality, our ability to affect our present moment by changing our future, and how I incorporate retrocausality into that story to benefit me in my everyday practical waking sober life. Okay? Objectionable reality means I know there's a TV over there, and if anybody else, human being, walks in this room, we agree there's a TV. If you don't think there's a TV, that's like a problem. Place we share. So I had to go to jail once, in county jail for money. It was civil. It was just because I didn't have enough money. That was all I did. That's all I'd been to jail for at that time. But I had to be there. The only way that I could get out was to give them this large sum of money. So I was forced to be there for 3 months or so, but I knew I was going home. While I was there, I was an employee as an inmate in the kitchen. And what that translates to is me and a group of about 20 guys, the same 20 guys every day, went to work from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then we as a group went back to our cell block where like a big room where we all lived. And so I had been there a few months, and I actually gravitated to this one guy, Huck, who was older than me. He had long hair and was kind of gray. I just thought he was particularly cool and perceivably intelligent and had some experience, which is you can't get from a book, right? So I tried to but I always thought it was cool. So Knox County Jail, and working in the kitchen, one thing we did, inmates were not allowed to have caffeine. But one of the guards would give us Coca-Colas every day, and we were in the back where we worked drinking them. And so nonchalantly, he just looked over at me one day and goes like, Jesus is an alien. I'm like, shut up or what? He's like, no, seriously. And actually, this is going to sound crazy. I know it's far out, but I'm an alien from another planet in space, sent incarnate to be a human to help all humans. And I'm like, I remember it was this guy Steve sitting next to me, the three of us, and I looked over, I said, I lost it, of course. It was hilarious. I was like, this. And I said, dude, it's before, so not even 6 a.m. yet, man. It's too much. It's too much. Here's I'm getting there real quick. Almost done. Here's the last part of that. So one thing about as inmates, we're not allowed to have knives, obviously, but you can't cook for food for a jail and not have kitchen knives. So we had butcher knives with blades this long, you know, a regular handle. And all the knives, there was one spot in the kitchen that had a little metal ring up high that had a bunch of cables hanging down from it. And those cables would be attached to the handle of that butcher knife, like cables. So you can't get the butcher knife or any of the knives away from this one small area, okay? Except for Huck. He was a little bit older than me. The two ladies that are the bosses and in charge of all the inmates and cooks or whatever are about Huck's age. So I had, in my own mind, you know, perceived before like that they liked him. But what happened was, and this was weird maybe, even the inmates called Huck like, oh, he's their fucking maintenance man or something. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. But I apologize to me. So Huck got a 1.5 inch drywall putty knife that was like a handle with a little flat piece of metal that's flat on the top, about 1.5 inches. So it's for drywall, spreading mud. And he got to use this and carry it around because they'd send him on various stuff to like scrape stuff off the floor or whatever. He's their maintenance man. So, but he always carried it. I never thought anything of it. The dude was cool. I mean, really. And I'm, you know, very particular. One of the things I never bring home from jail is friends. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like my attitude. But anyway, so we're talking, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm an alien. Jesus is an alien." And but so I understood him that he really believed this because I had been living with him and had to continue to living with him. So the way that translates is, I was like, "This dude's he's lost his mind, dude. Not blowing my mind, but he's lost his mind. Like okay, so I'm watching, I'm like, but you would never know because he's so rational, sensible, logical, you know, somebody smart, whatever. And you'd never know except for this one thing he said one time. I've been living with this dude for whatever, you know, like 3 months total or something. But in one time, one thing he said, just like, yeah, man, I'm an alien. Jesus is an alien. I'm an alien. Help everybody. But he really believes it because I verified with him. So this dude was walking around with this putty knife. I began to think, I'm forced to be with this guy, and the truth is, in my mind, and I was thoroughly convinced that he's a lunatic, sociopath, whatever it is. And so I even like got concerned. I was like, fuck, man, what if I piss this dude off and he kills me, man? I'm supposed to be here for money. You know what I mean? And I'm going to lose my life. I'm forced to be here with this crazy person. He told me Jesus is an alien. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. I voiced my concern because it was very real to other inmates. Other inmates, I'm not okay with snitching. Other inmates, though, went and snitched on their maintenance man or whatever. And so they took the knife. Well, Huck knew that I was the only person that he told was an alien or concerned that he had this knife or whatever, you know, that it came from me. I mean, I wasn't trying to hide it. And I was just honest. I was like, seriously, man, I have been scared, you know? Okay, so now this dude's pissed off at me. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Know what that is. So now this guy's pissed off at me, like my worst fear, right? And I've got to be around him. Crazy person. And I told him, I was like, it's the truth, man. I'm really scared, and I really think you're a crazy lunatic person, and you do have a knife, and God forbid you hurt anybody or me, man. And I want you to understand and see why and how that's not okay, and etc. And so life went on, and I continued to think he was a crazy person. So now, today, here, I'm done. 14 minutes. Wow. Okay, so now I'm done. So here it is, retrocausality, and that's how crazy I thought it was, man, as I was like scared for my life. Somebody said Jesus Christ is an alien. But Jesus Christ is an alien because people were created and their creator is non-human. So it's just what you think of as an alien. But that means non-human, and we're sentient. Like, it's all there across all platforms. It's very evident. If you're a Christian, you owe it to yourself to look up stuff like the history of the Holy Bible, all the different versions, no less. Nag Hammadi and Dead Sea Scrolls even, though that may be a ploy in itself, but all of it, man, all of it. So the 12 universal laws, I mean, it's irrefutable. Science, phenomenology, man. So just, you know, that like, so now retrocausality, I'm done. 15 minutes. So last sentence. Retrocausality, when I look back and I remember my experience with Huck and how he was and like all that happened, and I was still around him for weeks, and I was like, dude's a fucking lunatic, but he just appears normal. And I would watch him, I remember, but I was like, he was really cool when I just told him the truth and da 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 da. Now that I understand, my perception is broad, we'll say, and I look back and think about how I perceived it, I see him totally different, and I'm like, perhaps able to exploit my new enlightenment for practical everyday use and phenomenology and all that. And you really can, man. And meditation is not something you do. You just lay down and close your eyes and think, I'm going to meditate. I'm trying to not think. Nobody can not think. Monks spend years in vows of silence trying to achieve one moment of clarity that is like a second of silence of mind. Nobody can do that, man. And it's not something you lay down and close your eyes and just try to do. You get a guided meditation by somebody who's, man, just, it's love and light, and you got to protect yourself, and just, that's the thing, dude. Whatever you think, aliens or anything, Jesus Christ, and this, if you don't believe in Christianity and all that, this is the other thing, dude. All Jesus Christ said ever, and it's irrefutable, and his Christ consciousness is real. It is, and you can figure that out and verify that for yourself. But all Jesus said was, don't lie, cheat, rob, kill, steal, be kind, be cool. That's it. The end. Anybody who disagrees with that, go, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, dude. I mean, that's irrefutable. So, but you really got to investigate, man. If I tell you we live in a VR simulation or a holographic fractal, our sensory perception, and it's all energy and doesn't move and nothing solid, and it's just where we sense how we are, like a water bug on top of the water. If somebody jumps in over here on a big pool and over here and 3 people over here, that water bug, just from being on the top of the water, knows how far away and how much they weighed by the ripples in the water in their succession. So that kind of sensory perception, man, what's the tale of the 5 senses? Like all this stuff, like I said, I am a skeptic, and I require concrete convincing that I absolutely, despite my most thorough fucking, excuse my language, effort, I can't prove wrong. Like the double slit experiment and stuff, and Rupert Sheldrake, 10 Dogmas of Modern Science, Mitch Horowitz, dude, oh my gosh, man, that dude is my new hero after watching that video that I just seen of him last night. But I have watched a bunch of stuff of him, man, because Gaia is $10 a month. That is like a priceless resource trove of information and experts and doctors and information, for me to use as a resource. So, phenomenology, and I thought about starting a YouTube channel, and I might. And so I was like, I'll do in less than 5 minutes. And so I thought about, how could I get people's attention, like Facebook and my people I know in real life, and how they interpret who I am now just on my, what's the social dilemma, man? I've said it 300 times in this group that I've made, but I feel like I'm just wasting my breath. But what's the social dilemma on Netflix? I can't, when people see someone post crazy stuff, because it's a natural thing, what's the social dilemma? Me, in the past, I'll scroll and I'll see somebody post some crazy personal stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, me and everybody that we know and they know, man, that's so embarrassing for them. I'm blah, 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 blah. Check it out, man. Wow. If somebody posts something crazy, you may see it, and that's what you think, and think that everybody thinks. Okay, but the person that posts that may know some great deal about technology and AI, and that we I am the very ever last human beings to live and grow up before the internet was every day. So you've got this internet in your pocket. Look up Ray Kurzweil and the singularity. Look up Geordie Rose and D-Wave and quantum computing and technology forever ago. Look up the Operation Paperclip, and that NASA and Erner von Braun and the German scientist who used Maria Orsich and the Black Sun, and our rocket technology. I live in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and my mom actually has worked for NASA, or she did when I was a kid or whatever, but doing the rocket thing. So we still today, we take big, huge cans of gas and light them on fire like a bottle rocket, dude. Send it to the moon. But in 1950, we had planes that went fucking Mach 7. Really? So technology, man, is something that is very relevant to everybody, Christian or not, whether you get there. There's just I'm part of the first generation ever to remember life. Like my youngest son is 7. Since he's been born, this internet has been a thing. What's the social dilemma and perceive how that works. As a computer science student, I'm looking at algorithms and thinking of how AI will access everybody's records or whatever, man. Like all of that goes into effect from it's just a perceptual thing. Energy's real, physics is real, it's all real, man. It's all real. Jesus Christ is real, but the Holy Roman Empire has perverted what that is, and it's disgusting in my opinion. But you can know that God exists. So yeah, you're only given 2 options: evolution or creation. So how that works, man, I'm telling you, we were created and it wasn't human. I can tell you why I think that. This is why I think that, and show you people that make more sense than me when they say that. But I hope that's like a paradigm thing for anybody. So happy holidays.